What's up, guys? This is Caleb here, General Manager here at Srkcycles, and you're watching Tips from a Salesman. Today's topic is motorcycle ownership myths. Myth number one is, I need one bike that does it all. One thing when it comes to purchasing a motorcycle, or where you already own a motorcycle, is you need to deduce what the majority of your riding is. I know a lot of people ask me, I'm buying a bike, but in a couple years, I might decide to ride coast to coast. That's my dream. That's great, but 99.9% of your ownership is you driving it to work once every 2 weeks and you taking it to the grocery store to pick up groceries. If that's the case, you do not need a bike that fits all of your wildest imaginations as to what you can do with that bike. When the time comes for you to take your cross-country trip, maybe you just rent a bike. And if you rent a bike, you might only do it once in your lifetime. You rent a bike, you go back and you keep riding the bike that you previously bought. You saved a ton of money by not buying a giant touring bike. But don't buy the bike because it's gonna fit, because you think it's gonna fit all of your wildest imaginations. Buy the most practical bike for what you're gonna use it for 90% of the time. That's motorcycle ownership myth number one. Motorcycle ownership myth number two is that this is my forever bike and therefore I'm gonna stick thousands of dollars into accessories. Guys, I know it's awesome. You own a motorcycle now for 2 weeks. You were in love with that bike and you just went to Yamaha and you just asked for every single upgraded accessory for your bike and you wanna know what the price is. This is probably not gonna be your forever bike. I tell people this all the time. I thought this at one time, I'm speaking from experience, is people say, well, I think this is probably gonna be my forever bike. Therefore, I'm gonna just stick a ton of money into it. Seasons change, tastes change, your riding style might change. It is most likely, and I could be wrong, but it is most likely not gonna be your forever bike. Don't get yourself so far underneath a bike with accessories and customizing it and painting it and doing all this kind of stuff that you can't at least get some of your money back out of it when you most likely go to sell it. So don't treat every single bike like it's gonna be a forever bike. If you buy a CVO Road King or you buy a Goldwing, there's not many places to go up from there. And so that might be, if you're 50, that might be your last purchase, or it might not. But if you want to customize at that point, you do what you want to do. But if you're 19 and you buy a V-Star 1100, don't stick another $2,000 in accessories thinking it's going to be your final bike, because it most likely won't. Motorcycle ownership number three is that my lifestyle has to reflect my bike choice. Or in reverse, my bike choice has to reflect my lifestyle choices. I know a lot of Harley guys are gonna hate me for this, but don't feel as though because you bought a Harley Davidson that you now have to wear every single Harley Davidson badged piece of apparel or accessories or anything for the rest of your life. That is not the case. I know a lot of guys that ride Harley Davidsons that wear full climb rain gear, that have never bought a Harley Davidson accessory in their life. They just really liked that style of riding for a period of time. They didn't buy the bike and then immediately spend thousands of dollars in accessories, grow a beard, start smoking, do a whole bunch of things to adapt that lifestyle. Your lifestyle doesn't have to fit the style of bike. If you want a Harley Davidson Super Glide and you want a BMW R1200 GS, buy the bikes. You don't have to choose a lifestyle based on your bike. Riding's riding. If you love a certain type of bike, don't think you have to adjust it. And on the flip side, don't buy a BMW and think that now you have to become a doctor or a lawyer. You can be a regular guy riding a BMW as well. Don't let the bike dictate your lifestyle choices, and don't let your lifestyle choices dictate necessarily what bike you want to buy. Buy the bike that fits the style of riding that you want to do at the time. The next myth is that newer is always better. I own a 2006 Road King, and so the next bike I buy has to be 2006 or newer. That's just not at all the case, guys. I know a lot of people that say, they might own a 2015 Sportster, and so they can't ever go back from 2015. Hate to break it to you, but a 2010 or a 2012 Road Glide versus a 2015 883, that Road Glide in 2012 is a lot more bike for you. So don't think that you're regressing because you go back in years. Newer is not always better. Take into account the style of riding that you do, take into account engine size, what type of bike you're buying, because the year has very little to play into that. And the last myth is I have to keep up with all of my buddies who are buying bikes. You already own a bike, you own a 1995 Goldwing. all of your buddies are buying brand new Harley Davidson 1200 Sportsters. You know in the deepest depths of your heart that your bike is awesome, that you could go coast to coast on your bike even if it has 150,000 miles on it, but you're trying to keep up with your buddies, and so you're trying to now finance or buy a newer bike. That is the last ownership myth that I want to break. You do not need to make your financial or lifestyle decisions based off of the people that you ride with. Ride whatever your heart desires. Nobody's going to think you're uncool. Nobody's going to think that you're weird. But make your decisions based off of what you want to ride. You don't know your friend's financial well-being, and you also too are not responsible for your friend's financial well-being. I have a lot of friends that can afford way nicer bikes than I can, but I don't go out and purchase newer bikes just because of that. So don't let your riding buddies or don't let your friends dictate what motorcycle you're gonna buy. Buy what's right for you, buy what riding style is right for you, and make sure that you get what you want. So those are motorcycle ownership myths. Thanks so much for watching, guys.